Now, Amir says his dream fight against Floyd Mayweather could be confirmed within the next fortnight. The Bolton hero claims there has been movement in negotiations since his win over Chris Algieri in New York on Friday. But he's dismissed the prospect of a fight with Britain's world champion Kell Brook. He's been speaking to David Chisnell.
Back from the Big Apple, Amir says it's good to be home in Bolton.
It's been a long time. I was in America, I was over there. I was in San Francisco first. From there, I went to New York for the fight, but been away in total for like 3 months, so I miss my family, miss my friends, miss Bolton, yeah.
After beating New Yorker Chris Algieri in his own backyard, attention once again turns to the one fight he wants above all others.
We all know Mayweather is the one you want. Do you think that fight, that performance against Chris Algieri did anything to get you closer to that?
It definitely does make me close to Mayweather fight. Another win. Obviously, where Mayweather won his fight against Manny Pacquiao, where does he go, where does Amir go? We both need opponents, so let's make it happen.
A name that's also being linked with Khan is Yorkshire's IBF welterweight world champion Kell Brook. It's a domestic dust-up that Brook's promoter Eddie Hearn says Khan is too scared to take.
I think he's going to say that just to kind of get under my skin. If I'm calling out someone like Mayweather and want to fight Mayweather, then how can I be scared of Kell Brook when Kell Brook is nowhere near on the same level as Mayweather? I think seems to me Kell just wants a big payday.
I think what Eddie was trying to say was you could have had a big fight against Kell Brook for a world title in front of tens of thousands. Instead, you fought in New York in front of 7,000. Surely, if you were going to go for Mayweather, who wants to go out in style, that would have been one to really stand and say, come on, Floyd.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, I wanted to fight in New York. I've not fought in New York for a long, long time. So I wanted to go back to New York again. Obviously, my wife being from there, and also it's like second home for me. That chance for me to fight in New York will never be there again. Someone like Kell Brook will always be there because he's from the UK, I'm from the UK, so that fight will always be there.
Has there been any contact between your camp and Floyd Mayweather's camp? We've been here before, haven't we?
Yeah, we've been here before.
How close are we to this?
I think we're a lot closer than we were, and we have been. So yeah, obviously we have this. We share the same advisor in Al Haymon. So obviously Al Haymon is going to now see what he can do for me, and if he can make that fight for me in September, which I can do because Ramadan moves a little earlier this year, it gives me enough time to train and get to that fight. So fingers crossed we can get that fight against Floyd Mayweather. We should find out in the next couple of weeks.
So would you say now you're closer to a fight with Floyd Mayweather than ever before?
Than ever, yeah, definitely. You could say that, yeah. You could say I'm close to that. I want to fight the big names in boxing. I want to leave a name and mark my name in the sport of boxing and leave fighting the biggest names and the best names.
Mayweather is contracted to fight for the final time in his career on September the 12th. Khan has done everything he can to make sure he's the chosen opponent. Now it's up to his camp to try and seal the deal. David Chisnell, ITV News, Bolton.
Boxer Amir is back home in Bolton after his successful welterweight bout in New York. And he set his sights on fighting the man many view as the best boxer on the planet, Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, the 28-year-old has been talking to Peter Marshall about his dream fight, training smarter and his long-term plans to become a Mr. Motivator.
Back in Bolton and with his belt to boot, this is a good time in the life of Amir. After his unanimous points victory over American Chris Algieri on Friday, he believes he's closer than ever to earning a chance to end triple welterweight world champion Floyd Mayweather's 48-fight unbeaten run.
Amir!
I think it's very close for it to happen, definitely. I mean, Floyd got a good win against Manny Pacquiao. I got my win. And I think who else is out there for Floyd Mayweather to fight? Now, if Floyd wants to fight in September, I think I can make September fight happen. Due to Ramadan being a little earlier this year, I think I can make that fight happen.
Well, it's 5 wins in a row now for the Bolton boxer, and while he's pleased with Friday night's win, he believes he could have boxed better. He admits to feeling flat in the early rounds against Algieri and feels his long training camp away from family and friends wasn't the most effective pre-fight preparation.
I trained in the UK for 4 weeks before I went to America and did like a 3-month training camp over there. I thought sometimes being in the camp for a longer time is only going to make you a better fighter, but sometimes some fighters can leave it in the gym, and I think I might have left a little bit.
He'll have to be at his explosive best if he gets a crack at Mayweather in September.
Obviously, we've seen Floyd beat every style that they put in front of him, and I think it's a style that I have that he's never fought before, and I can really force him to, make a lot of adjustments, and then he can start making mistakes. So look, it's all in time, and if we can get that fight, you know, it'll be a very big fight for me, and I'll definitely grab it with both hands.
While the former two-time light welterweight world champion is eyeing future fights, his eyes are also on his future after boxing.
God put me in a position like this where, you know, I can help people and people look up to me. So if I can share a little bit of my experience, how my life's been in boxing and how it changed my life to other kids out there and schools, going to schools, talk to kids, I want to do that. I want to be, you know, like a motivator, a guy who can go out there and motivate kids to get into sport and keep out of trouble.
But there's a few more belts and titles that you want before then?
Yeah, before then I've got a few more fights to have, a few more titles to win, and yeah, a couple of more years left in me.
Peter Marshall, BBC North West Tonight, Bolton.
Hope he gets that fight as well. He deserves it, doesn't he?
He does deserve it.